Alright, so I tell you what, I had a good intent to create a small video on this activity I had a couple nights ago up in northern Minnesota. And so I recorded it out in the field. The audio, the video, the situation, the location. I had everything videotaped. And I get home and it no longer exists on my phone. It's not there. So I'm just going to start over right now and talk just a little bit about it. And essentially, I'm down to 2 pictures that really help identify what happened. So I'll tell you what, I was out there mowing the trail. I mow all the way to the end. I get to the end. I stop. I look around. Because I'm just trying to be observant too. Even if I'm mowing, I'm still looking around all the time, checking stuff out. But I turn around finally after looking around a little bit, and I'm heading back in the other direction. And I don't go more than 30 yards at most. And I go right into this fishing. If you've watched my videos, you know I've talked about this a number of times, how something is happening right now in the forest. And it can be right near me, but I don't see it. It shows up in a video in my mind. I can't explain what this is called. But this is how I have a lot of my encounters with Sasquatch. It's in this same way. So, jumping to the scene, I'm sitting on my lawnmower. The lawnmower's running. And I just kind of let my foot off the gas because I'm sitting there and I'm like seeing the Sasquatch running through the woods behind me, running right in my direction. He's running. He's moving fast. He heard the lawnmower, whatever. And I tell you what, first things first, I'm like, boy, he's really moving. It felt kind of aggressive. And so I'm like, hey, this is Russ. I'm just cleaning up the trails after the storm, blah, blah, blah. And I'm peaceful. That's it. That's all I say. And things kind of settle. I come out of the vision, of course. I'm sitting on the lawnmower. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep mowing. Because, I don't know. I could have stopped and, I don't know. I just kept going. And I drove out and I drove up in and around to another neighboring property there where my food plot is. And I intended to mow that. So I made my way all the way around this thing. One swoop of mowing. And then on the second time around, and I don't mean to make it sound so big, it's not that big, but I come around the second round circle around the edge, and this time there's a Y branch and it's poked right there in the ground. Easy to see. There's no reason I shouldn't have seen it on the first time. None. There it is, second time around, right in front of my face. You can't miss it. And I just finished mowing up everything I wanted to. And I parked the mower on the trail. I walked back in. There was a Y branch that was just laying on the ground, a different one. And I grabbed that one and I brought it over and I just laid it at the base of the Y branch that was sticking out of the ground. And I just kind of tapped my chest a little bit over my heart, And I thought, well, maybe that's not right either, because hammering, hitting your chest can be a sign of aggressiveness too. And so I immediately was like, friend, friend, friend. I did that, something like that. Friend, friend, friend. And I headed out of the woods. At this point, it was a rainy weekend too. But I seen, while I was walking up the trail another time, a brand new Super X. And I got a picture of that too I'm going to show you. And so that night, I was sitting there just outside on a chair waiting for something. I just felt something was going to happen. I stayed up till midnight, and all I heard was like a half of an owl call. A half a call. That was weird. I'm assuming it was an owl. And that was it. But there was a big storm going through, and maybe that had something to do with it, why it was so quiet. Because everything was quiet. I hardly heard a single creature of the forest. That midnight, I'm like, I've heard nothing. So I went to bed. But anyway, I mean, that's kind of my story. I had this vision. It's just a crazy vision. So real to me. When I see them, they're just right in my face, real. Like I'm watching TV. And then the Y branch. So it's still an encounter. I call it an encounter. Because these visions are almost as real as seeing it itself to me. And I've had conversations with others who have seen and have these similar visions like I do. And I can't say enough that I call this an encounter. I don't call it a sighting, but I call it an encounter. And we're going to go with that. So I hope you have something to say about this. If you have had these types of visions like this while you're out on the ground, out in the woods, like I have quite a few times, I'd love to hear your story about it. I'd love to talk to you about it, and maybe together we can learn more about this situation, about this phenomenon. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and till next time.